for the Strongs. The firmament was one of them. Hold that for me, and grab your concordance. Yeah, I'll do the concordance. Yeah, but I want to do it from the you read? Okay. Yeah. Go to H. Before I want to ask my brother to look up the concordance, because we also using the Strong's Concordance in the book and the Eastwood. I want to identify how to use this concordance, because I know many people may be picking up with this family may not understand what's going on. First off, you must understand that the Bible is originally written in Hebrew, not English. The Strong's Concordance is all of the Hebrew words that was translated from Hebrew to Greek, from Greek to English. So you must understand that every word in English that's in the Bible may not be the same in Hebrew. So you must verify some things by going to the Strong's. And to understand how to use the Strong's properly, you will look up that word firmament. Okay? Now, brother, can I see it for 1 second? I want to show him something. If you can, cameraman, zoom in for me. I'm going to just use one little small example on how to use the Strong's. So this way it won't be no problems on research. Because if we are using it the same way, then you should also interpret it the same way. So I'm going to look up this word firmament. The first thing you would do is you will look up this word firmament. Located right there. Okay? And you will see that it has two columns. One column with the scripture, another column with another number. You will look at what scripture you read, which was Genesis 1 and 14. So you will line that up right here. Genesis 1 and 14. And you will see what number identifies with that. Well, that number is 7549. If it don't have a letter, then it's Hebrew. If it will have a letter, it'll be G, which will let you know it's Greek. So, sorry about that. Just wanted to show you that it aligns up with 7549. You cannot see that.
No.
That's it? That's it closest? Okay. You would turn the pages from here to Hebrew, the Hebrew section, because you got two sections, Greek and Hebrew. Okay? The number was 7549. It didn't have no G next to it, so that's Hebrew. So you go to the Hebrew section. You can tell the Hebrew section is by the corner. It's either going to say Hebrew or it's either going to say Greek. Okay? You go into the Hebrew section, looking for 7549. This way you can do your own research, your own study. And you ain't got to have nobody tell you nothing. You know, you can go pick up the Strong's in the Bible on your own and read it for yourself. So we can stop having misinterpretations of doctrine. Because it shouldn't be no way that we got the same books and coming up with the different information. And this book is really the final say-so. This is where all the meaning is at. You know what I'm saying? This is where all the definition to Hebrew at. And I know none of us ain't been talking Hebrew since we was taking off the land and brought here to America in the 1500s, 1600s. So therefore, you must be using this book, or I can't trust your interpretation. That's for sure. So you will look up 7549. Which is right here. Right there where my finger is at. And this should tell you the meaning of what the firmament means. So I just wanted to touch on how to even use the Strong's, because you'd be surprised how many people that you run into, that I done ran into, that are going around talking about the Hebrew, the Israel, and they still don't even know how to use the Strong's. And you know, you'd be surprised how many people are being oppressed by other people with the scriptures and the Strong's because they're following and relying on their information and they didn't know how to use it for themselves. So we're gonna give it to you real. We're gonna give it to you real here with the PDF, your own books, your own information. Sit down, read it for yourself, man or woman. Now, get back to the teaching. Firmament. What was the definition of firmament? It was pronounced in Hebrew, rakia. Okay? The meaning is from H7554, properly an expanse, that is the firmament, or apparently visible arch of the sky. Firmament. Okay? The other number, H7554, which is rakah, a primitive root to pound the earth, a sign of passion, by analogy, to expand, by hammering, by implication, to overlay, within sheets of metal, beat, made broad, spread abroad, forth, over, out, into, place, stamp, stretch. So with the word firmament, you have two different Hebrew words with two slightly different meanings. It was important to know that. We can pretty much sum that up to be heaven. So now it's in the sky. So now we know that that scripture, those we had now, Genesis 1 and 14, we know that the firmament was referring to the visible arch in the sky, and we know the visible arch in the sky is heaven. So let's go back to the scripture. Could you read that some more?
Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. And the Most High said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be as signs, and for seasons, and for days and years.
To divide the day from the night. The only lights up in heaven that divide the day into night would be
sun and moon.
I don't have no objection to that. Now I know also the stars, but that's doing the main work, and dividing the light for the earth, and being a sign for the day, the night. Seasons, days, and years. Them lights would be the
sun and moon.
Okay. Let's look into another key word that's in that particular scripture. Because now we know that the lights is the sun and the moon. We know that the firmament is heaven. But pretty much people know what days are. Pretty much people know what years are. But do we know what seasons are? And if you look further in the PDF, it's a word that was a key word. It's right up under signs. I also strong signs.